What is Bitcoin?
I got it down to 6 words, Gary. Bitcoin is unconfiscatable, censorship-resistant store of value. So I've already discussed the unconfiscatability part. I've already discussed the censorship-resistant value transfer part. We're witnessing this play out in real time, both properties. Again, I'm going to go back to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. When the initial, Ukraine situation happened in 2014, the U.S. government went to sanction Russia. They sanctioned over the Crimea annexation. They sanctioned them a little, but the SWIFT system, which is the rails that move the dollars around, they refused to drop Russia from the international banking system. So the United States corrected that problem of the SWIFT not doing what they want them to do. They replaced the head of SWIFT in 2019. And here we are in 2022, Russia and Ukraine conflict escalates. Russia gets removed from SWIFT. So suddenly the US dollar becomes a political weapon to decide which countries can and can't use the system. They've always, controlled it with countries like North Korea, countries like Iran. But Russia is a different global player. And not only that, the West started confiscating Russian assets, Russian money in the Western financial system, and also individual wealthy Russians. They call them oligarchs. And again, we can debate all day long whether this is moral or immoral, certainly debatable. But the fact that the United States can do it, and they're doing it, that's not how a free global system is. Like, you can't remove Russia from the internet because the internet is not controlled by anyone. And a true global financial system, whether you agree or disagree with people, like, you can't prevent a criminal from driving a car. You kind of could. You can take away his driver's license, but that's very, very marginal. So Bitcoin removes this control of anyone over the financial system. Now, we can debate whether that's good or bad, but we can't debate the fact that technologically, they can't stop people from using it. So those are the 2 major parts of Bitcoin. The third part I have not discussed yet, and that's the store of value mechanism. There will only be 21 million Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is a scarce asset, even more scarce than gold. So as people start finding those 2 properties of Bitcoin useful, they will realize real quick that by default, Bitcoin has to keep rising in value because there will only be 21 million Bitcoins. So it does have scarcity. And the one thing that Satoshi did by creating digital scarcity, it was actually easy once you do it. It's one of these things that's like any other global innovation. Like, once you discover the use case for oil, this black goo that comes out of the ground, which basically renders your Texas land useless, prior to 1880, 1890, suddenly you have the most valuable land in the state if it has a big oil deposit. So once you discover a use case for something, all of a sudden, things become easy. Same thing with Bitcoin. Once Satoshi solved the double spending computer science problem, and all of a sudden, you can have digital data that could be sent and lost possession of. Anyone with basic knowledge of computer science can create a token and pretend that it's going to be more valuable than Bitcoin. The Pandora's box has been opened. But I've always said that you can't have infinite amount of digital scarcity. You either have digital scarcity with Bitcoin or you don't. And this is why I believe that only Bitcoin is going to be valuable digital scarcity going into the future. Not these NFTs, not other tokens like Ethereum, none of that. There's only one digital scarcity that could perpetually go up in value. And everything else is just a nice use of technology, but it should not have a digital financial premium on top of it. It is something similar to how gold has completely displaced silver as having any financial premium as money. Most people, most gold bugs, silver bugs, they have not yet come to this realization. But we recently saw the gold silver ratio hit an all-time high in its history, like 5,000 year history, we hit an all-time high. And that's because since the 1900s, the digital world has made silver not be useful as money because gold-backed digital currency can scale to micropayments, which couldn't happen before 1900. And that's why silver used to be money. But in today's society, even if we go back to the gold standard, silver will never be money again. And Bitcoin will do that to gold.
Yeah, I love coming to BitBlock Boom because it's like Mecca for Bitcoiners. Like everybody here is like part of the hardcore like inner sanctum. You just have these conversations with everybody where like you can see it in their eyes that they believe the same things that you believe.
You come to BitBlock Boom once, you're going to come every year. Speakers are great. The networking is great because that's really what it's about when you're a Bitcoiner, especially when you're a new Bitcoiner, is you want to network with as many Bitcoiners as you can and learn because there's so much information, not only about Bitcoin, but about money in general.
Hey, so I'm down here at BitBlock Boom, and what energy, what a lot of fun. It's all Bitcoiners and just good people. That's the one thing that all my interactions that I've had with people, you can tell you're just dealing with a culture of people that just want to make the world a better place.
So if you want to come to a Bitcoiner conference, not a crypto conference or a shitcoiner conference, if you want to come to a Bitcoin conference, you would come to BitBlock Boom.